Now to our guest. Air Chief Marshall Angus Houston has been the Chief of Australia's Defence Force for 6 years. During his time in the job, he's overseen Australia's engagements in Iraq and Afghanistan, has worked with 5 defence ministers and has seen scandals emerge over the culture in defence. Air Chief Marshall Angus Houston joined me earlier from our Canberra studio. Air Chief Marshall Angus Houston, welcome to Lateline and many thanks for joining us in your last week in the job.
Good evening, Ali. It's a pleasure to be here.
You're leaving the Defence Force at a time when there's an unprecedented number of inquiries. There's the 6 investigations put in place after the Skype sex scandal at Defence Force Academy, as well as a completely separate review of defence procurement and maintenance. Do you have a sense of unfinished business?
Well, I don't think it would matter when I would leave a dynamic organisation like the Defence Organisation. There will always be reviews going because that's the nature of the beast. It's a very large, very complex organisation. I think it's probably the most complex and diverse organisation in Australia and arguably one of the most complex organisations in the Southern Hemisphere.
You don't think this number of reviews is somewhat unusual?
Well, you know, unfortunately for me, we did have an abhorrent incident at the Defence Academy a couple of months ago, and essentially the Minister has discussed with me and the Secretary what we might do about it. And what has been put in place is a series of reviews that build on work that's already ongoing in terms of women, in terms of misuse of alcohol, and in a number of other areas.
You talk about the fact that this is work that's ongoing, and those reviews, they do range from looking at the particular incident to looking at the treatment of women more generally across the Defence Forces to even looking at your own legal processes. But what is it, do you think, about defence that's led it to be in the position it finds itself?
Well, I think that defence, as I've mentioned, is quite a unique organisation in Australia. Right now we're conducting military operations. We have the highest level of operational tempo that we've had in a generation. 3,300 people on operations right now. And if we have a look at what we've done over the last 6 years, 58 operations, 69,000 individual deployments, and of course many of those deployments have been in harm's way. Our people have been fighting in a war. At the same time, we have a lot of people back home that need to be taken care of, and of course the business of defence requires big decisions about acquisition and, of course, lots of effort in the sustainment area to ensure that the whole machine keeps going. So it's a very complex business and there'll always be many challenges. And, of course, a lot of the equipment we buy is at the leading edge of technology and sometimes there are challenges and issues that need to be looked into, and that's the way I would characterise it. I don't think it means